Ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea have done it in one of the most probably underwhelming ways in terms of performance. But when you get to this point in this kind of competition, knockout football, performance tends to go out the window a lot of the time. Hello guys, how are you getting on? My name is Aaron Kelly and Chelsea are through to the Champions League semi-finals for the first time in like 7 years or something along those lines. So as a result, our lights tonight are solely just blue. Although defeat on the night for Chelsea, a 1-0 defeat thanks to a 93rd minute stunner by Mehdi Taremi. An unbelievable bicycle kick. Might just have to be one for the goal recreation series at some point. But before we get into today's video, lads, we are only 10, I tell you 10 subscribers away from 400 here on the channel. So, as I've said at the start of every video recently, subscribe if you haven't already, turn on the bell notification so you're notified about every single time I upload on this channel. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Chelsea into the last four, and as I said in the intro to the video, the performance was not particularly stunning. I think it's fair to say. That's probably understatement of the evening. Thomas Tuchel made a couple of changes from the weekend's incredible victory to Crystal Palace, and the only reason I didn't make a video on that game is because I was pretty busy with my own video of like the goal recreations episode that went out on Sunday and most recent episode of Shy Talk that went out this evening, so I didn't actually get time squeezed in between my college work as well to get a verdict out about the Chelsea win over Crystal Palace. But it was a great performance. But he made a couple of changes from that game. Obviously, N'Golo Kante and Jorginho were the midfield two. Mateo Kovacic was injured. Thiago Silva also came into the back three, and he stayed with the same front three that played ever so well at the weekend. Mason Mount, Kai Havertz and Christian Pulisic. And I gotta say, going forward, Chelsea did not really create a lot in this game. Christian Pulisic was unlucky to maybe not score at the end there. That's the only one I can really think of off the spot in terms of chances for Chelsea. And, you know, I'm not going to dilly-dally too much around the performance. And I was maybe a little bit harsh on the performance in the first leg. But in knockout football, it really doesn't matter how well the team performs as long as you get the result. And Chelsea, we're probably looking at tonight's game and thinking maybe a 2-goal cushion might just be enough to see us through to the second leg. And for a lot of the game, it was very much Chelsea sitting back, defending resiliently at times and having to, because Porto, in fairness, were knocking the ball around very, very nicely indeed at times. However, they really did just lack that killer instinct. And I was surprised, considering the return of Sergio Oliveira, a man who I was very much impressed with in the second leg against Juventus for Porto. Jesus Corona looked very, very lively on the right wing for them again. But again, just the end product wasn't there. And then there was times where they were putting decent crosses into the box and there was just nobody in on the end of them. It just didn't seem to click for Porto in that final third. And to be quite honest with you, the performance for Chelsea tonight didn't really have to be that good, if that makes sense. And that's no disrespect to Porto. I actually do think they look a decent side, but just lack that something extra, that killer instinct that I think every good team really, really needs, or top team really, really needs. As a result, it was a fairly laboured performance for Chelsea. We weren't forced into anything too mental, apart from obviously the bicycle kick from Taremi right at the end, like an unbelievable goal. But like up until that point, that's what will be so frustrating for Porto fans, is that it took them until the 93rd minute to create an opening like that. Overall, didn't have to really be at our best. Once again, I think the first leg we were poor enough as well, but we're just resilient defensively. And obviously the 2 goals late on in either half in the first leg, the first from Mason Mount, the second from Ben Chilwell, proving to be enough to give Chelsea enough of a cushion so that we didn't really have to try too hard to attack and we could just focus on protecting what we already had. Like, Edouard Mendy didn't have too much goal mouth action to deal with. It was just very much just like picking up loose balls that were coming at the end of some failed attacks for Porto. There was a chance actually for Jesus Corona in the first half, which was actually a very much self-inflicted one by Edouard Mendy, where he tries to pass it out to, I think it might have been Rudiger or Thiago Silva. Corona nips in, and luckily for Chelsea, Jorginho was there to make a very important intervention. If Porto had scored very early on tonight, I would have been a lot more worried. The fact that we got to half-time at 0-0, then it was, you know, the hour mark, still 0-0, 70 minutes, still 0-0, 80, 90. I was getting more and more comfortable in myself. If you'd asked me at the start of the season, do I think Chelsea will be in the semi-final of the European Cup, I would have said absolutely not. I still say that Getting to the quarter-final would have been my expectations going into this season. And yes, obviously Chelsea have had the luck of the draw. Porto would have been the side that a lot of people would have wanted to have drawn in the quarter-final. I said that in my last video. Still offended some Porto fans. You're always going to get that. But it was definitely the favourable draw. And now Chelsea just wait until Wednesday night when we find out who we will be facing. Will it be Real Madrid or will it be Liverpool? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, lads. Real Madrid are currently 3-1 up after the first leg, and I did talk about it in a previous video on the channel. Going to be an interesting game, and I'll be keeping a keen eye on that. As for Chelsea, up next for us, the big week continues with an FA Cup semi-final at Wembley against Manchester City this weekend. That is going to be an absolutely massive game. Obviously, the other semi-final is Leicester versus Southampton, so if you're Chelsea and you get through the Man City game, which is going to be a very, very tough ask because this is an unbelievable Man City side, you would definitely fancy your chances against a Leicester or a Southampton in the second leg, or in the final of the FA Cup, should I say. But I do got to give huge kudos to the professionalism of Chelsea, not only tonight, but over the two legs in general. Yes, a little bit disappointed that we conceded right at the end there. But, I mean, if you're going to concede a goal like that. Because Taremi, I mean, there's not enough superlatives that I could use to describe how bloody good that goal was from Taremi. Like, honestly, unbelievable. And as I said, Porto fans will be questioning, where was that little bit extra in the final third? Where was that extra spark when we needed it earlier on in the tie? But Porto go home. And I believe Bayern Munich have been knocked out tonight as well by PSG. So they have got revenge for last year's final defeat of PSG. I genuinely think PSG are quite a beatable side. And I think if Man City managed to get past Dortmund tonight, or tomorrow night should I say, I think they could easily beat PSG. But that's a question for another day, another video when I make my semi-final predictions. But wow, Chelsea in the semi-final of the Champions League, lads. If that is not enough reason for you to subscribe to the channel, I don't know what is. I have an awful lot else to say about this game because, as I said, it was fairly basic stuff and it was very much business as usual and a good professional job done by Chelsea. So, as I said, we keep a keen eye on the game tomorrow night at Anfield between Liverpool and Real Madrid. Lads, if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like, and as I have stated twice now in this video, unbelievably, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you are new as well, and as always, I will catch you later. See yous. I never said that at the end. Bloody hell.